I'm recording. Hey, what's up, friends? Jules with Jules' Journey here, and I promised a second half of my plants little tour and explanation of some of the plants and what they've been through and how I've kind of brought them back. So, if you haven't seen the first half, go ahead and check that out. And let's turn around. My house is kind of a mess because we had our landlord here earlier, but the previous video was basically this half. The only difference from that is that I did end up repotting my metal plant, and it's a little droopy from the repot experience, but this one is just totally fine, perky, healthy. So that's kind of the only difference. And this beautiful silver English ivy, I meant holly. It's upside down, but yeah, silver variegated English ivy. This was actually on the side I'm about to show you, but since I moved it over here, I wanted to stop and show you this. The new leaves sometimes come out all white or very light and variegated. I saw another one at the store that had like all white on the new leaves. And so some of my plants I'm nursing back to health. My birds like to talk over me. I hope that doesn't bother you. But some of my plants have been nursing back to health, so they're not perfect, but they're definitely coming a long way. So that is that side. Okay. Actually, this also, I think it's a Maranta, was actually on the side I'm about to show you as well. So as you can see, this beautiful, sorry about that, new growth coming out. And it's got kind of that like painted look from the white fusion. My white fusion just did not make it. And the one here, the one here on the small one on the side was actually a broken piece, and it actually started growing. It was only the bottom two leaves, but everything else is new. And you can even see in there a new leaf unfurling. So when it broke off, I just stuck it in the soil and it has picked up growing. Okay. So now we're moving to the side that I haven't shown you yet. So let me take my lamp and kind of shine some light on the subject here. I hope it's plenty. In fact, I think I'm going to turn, yeah, we'll get a couple lights. So stepping back, this is my setup. It's in front of a south-facing window, but the window doesn't really get a lot of light because my neighbors have a big tree, and it just doesn't really get like a lot of that bright light that you'd expect from a south-facing window, but it does help a little bit. So I want to start at the top and I think work my way down. So this is my, I think it's a marble queen or a golden pothos. And it's just beautiful. I know I showed you this in a haul that I did. And my birds like to munch on my plants. So that's what these little bite marks are. But all in all, it's very healthy. And I'm really looking forward to watching it spread out a little bit more. So it's really good. And I have all of my aeroid type plants, like pothos and philodendrons and even the Hoyas, anything like that, in a mostly mulch bark chip mixture with a small amount of soil. All I really use is mulch and soil for all of my plants. I don't add a lot of extra stuff. So anyway, let's move on and I'll talk about that at another time. I just brought these beauties home. This is my absolute favorite plant. It's daffodils, and they were all totally closed when I brought them home, but now they're blooming. So let's get a nice, beautiful look at that. They're so cute. As soon as I brought them home, they started blooming. So how are you guys doing? How are all your plants? Yeah, I haven't talked to my YouTube friends in a while. So here is my Crimson Princess Hoya, and I think the difference is that the white is on the inside and the green is on the outside, whereas other versions the white is actually on the outside and the green is in the middle. I think that's the difference. And I have it kind of propped up here. It's wrapped, it's hanging on the bar, and then to keep it tight I have clothespined the zip tie that is attached to this to kind of keep it at this angle so that it gets lots of light to the top. Isn't she beautiful? I think we have some new baby leaves right there. Isn't that great? So yeah, moving along. This is kind of my Hoya area. So I got my Hoya carrii, and this, thank you to Jennifer, I believe it was, or Jenny, for commenting that I should stake my Hoya up and cut it. I did. I listened to your advice. I cut it right here, and then I staked it up using a handle, and this came from another plant, okay, and then some twine to allow it to support itself. And ever since I've done that, I'm trying to get you a good angle. I apologize for moving too much. This leaf back here, that big leaf down there, it's brand new, and I watched it grow from brand new. Now it has all these white marks on it, similar to the silver sequin that I'm going to show you in a little bit. So I'm waiting to see if it takes shape, and I have noticed that it is slowly starting to take that heart shape. So I don't know if it's going to have these type of silver markings on it, because I do have some of that on the older leaves too, but maybe it's going to grow like that from now on. And then I have new vines coming out as well down there. So that's very exciting, because I didn't see any growth for the first little bit since I had it. Okay, here is my Hoya Chelsea, and she's doing really good. This is the newest portion. It is about an inch of vine and a new leaf right here. And this is 2 separate plants in here. So I really love this Hoya Chelsea, especially since my girlfriend's name is Chelsea. So yeah, very pretty. Okay. And then next to that, all my spider plants are in this area. So I'll start with this one. This was from my Etsy haul, and it was just a little baby clipping, but they are taking off. And if you compare it to the haul, you'll see how much they've grown, which is quite a bit. So I'm really looking forward to that becoming a big plant. Now, this is my Bonnie spider plant, and she's very, very healthy. Okay, I think there's a couple different plants in here. I'm trying to get a good view of the base for you. Okay, and I just love it. I just absolutely love it. Okay, so if you can tell the difference between these two, I'll give you a second to guess. What is it? If you guessed that the variegation is the opposite of each other, that's correct. This one is the variegata in my hand, and it has green on the inside and white on the outside. And then the other one is the original one. Oh gosh, my birds are so having a good time. Let's take a birdie break. You want to take a birdie break? Yeah? Are you talking to me? We got Savvy here and Rocco here. Okay. So yeah, I got the variegata, the Bonnie, and just the original that has white on the inside and green on the outside. And as you can see here, it was making a baby, but my birds started nibbling on it. So I believe this plant is mature enough to start blooming out some babies. So I'm just going to give it a break away from the birds and allow it to take off. Okay, now let's go back to the top. So as I said, this is like my pothos area. So this is my newest pothos. I just got it like last week, and it's, I believe, a silver satin pothos. I just love it. I just love it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's so shiny. I want you to be able to see how shiny it is and sparkly. There we go. You guys might remember my peace lily from the church, and it's constantly putting out new growth. So I'm very, very happy. I believe this is the newest leaf, and you can kind of tell like the difference in color a little bit. But yeah, it wasn't a big pot, but I put it in a smaller pot because to bloom, they actually like to be a little root bound. So it's in good health. This is my Christmas cactus. I just got this actually over Christmas, during Christmas. And the flowers looked a lot better. I don't know why after a little while the flowers kind of look a little limp and stuff because it's been watered and everything. I think maybe it's temperature. So I've put it in a warmer area, and I'm hoping that it picks back up on the blooming. Look at that newest little part. It's growing a new leaf and a new little bud. So yeah, it's got a beautiful color of flowers, but they just kind of, they stayed perky for like a couple days, and then they kind of started closing up. So maybe that's just the process. I don't know. This is a cutting from the same church that I got the peace lily from. And look, this little part right here is the newest growth. So it did start growing. It's got roots and it's starting to grow now. So that's the top layer. my roses, my pilea, pepermoides, pothos, and such. Okay, and here is, you might remember from this cutting video, my lipstick plant, and it has grown a lot. It's gotten much fuller, and I did cut it back when I got it and cleaned it up quite a bit, and now I'm very happy because now it's all growing in one direction. I can lift it and clean under it, and it's just much more organized. I really like it. I believe this is called the Silver Sequin Hoya. I believe silver sequin, and it's because it has these silver markings all over it. This is 2 different plants. These were from my Almost Eden haul, so if you didn't see that, go watch that because you'll see how far they've come and how much they've grown and everything. But yeah, I love Hoyas. They're so beautiful and hardy and strong. Here is my Iron Cross begonia, and I got this. I showed you guys this in my haul from my Olympia nursery video, so check that out. I cut it way back, and everything here is brand new. Like, I literally almost cut every leaf off because it just wasn't doing very good. And now it's got all new growth coming up, and all these leaves actually were new as well at one point when I had it. Okay, so this is kind of like my nursery area because I have a couple of sick or not growing very well babies on this row. This one, however, I think it's called a cleitis or... sorry guys, I can't remember exactly what this is called, but I will put it in the description. I'll look it up and put it in the description. I love these heart-shaped leaves. You know how much I love heart-shaped leaves. And this plant grows from a bulb, so it's really, really great. And I just love that pink. Okay, and then back here is I started these from seed, okay, so they're very skimpy, but they are sweet pea vines. They make very fragrant, beautiful flowers, so I'm trying not to touch that too much. I'm just kind of leaving it there, leaving it be. And it's a local plant, so it should be fine close to the window with a little bit of coolness. And this also is a local plant. And this has gone through its ups and downs. This little, can you see that? Yeah. It grows from a bulb. And I dug this up from a business's planter. They had a whole bunch of these. They are those purple shamrocks that people like to have as houseplants. It had a few branches to it. For some reason, it was slowly kind of fading. So I dug it out of the cup it was in, and then I put it in fresh soil and left the bulb slightly above the soil level. And I'm so happy to see that it is still producing. So I can't wait until I actually get a full plant out of that. But that little baby is very sweet and happy. I have a bear claw here that was fading. It was planted with a bunch of my fuzzy plants, and I have since divided them and given them their own little spaces because for some reason nothing was doing good in the planter I had it in. So they don't look very good, but I have hope for this one because all of that is new growth. I mean, there's new growth on it. It just looks so sad. And then this is a bear claw plant, and literally since I brought it home, every single leaf fell off. So I'm holding on to a little bit of hope for that, okay? You gotta hold on to hope, guys. So in here this is a brand new plant I got at Safeway. I really like Safeway's plants, actually. This is a turtle vine, and I just love the design of those leaves. Yeah, so, and then back here is my fuzzy baby bunny bellies or something like that I got off of Etsy. You'll see it in my Etsy haul. And as I said, all these plants together, these were not doing so good in the planter. So ever since I planted them on their own, they have picked up health quite a bit. And then this is my teddy bear vine. So they're not really much to be proud of at this moment, except for at least they're still alive. But now that they're in their own little planters, I think I'm going to see some serious improvement. Excuse me. I don't know what happened, but I think I'm getting a little cold. Oh, look. See, it's dropping its flowers. I think it's the temperature. I think it was too cold. So moving along, I just got this cute as heck little polar bear planter with a mama and a baby, and it came with all these plants in it. This is some sort of a fern. If you know what it is, tell me, but I think it's a painted fern. Look how shiny and beautiful and white that is. This is another one of the same as this, and I know it starts with a C. I don't know if I'm going to leave these all in together. And then a pink nerve plant, and then a white kalanchoe. And I love this kalanchoe. These flowers look like little roses, and they're just so absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to keep those all together because I don't think that they actually need a similar environment. So we'll see what happens with that. This I got from Almost Eden. It is a jasmine plant, and I've just slowly been watching it fade. So I repotted it gently, kind of gently, and I'm just hoping. I see new growth down in there, but I'm just holding on to hope, giving it more light and giving it some room. This right here is an August Beauty Gardenia. And I don't know what is happening, why these leaves keep doing this, okay, in different spots. But it's still growing new leaves. All that is new. Every single one new growth on that. So I just really just hope this plant starts to look better. But I do love it very much. So over here is my umbrella plant. You might remember that from a previous tour. And look at the little tiny leaves growing in the very bottom there. And I really like these leaves when they're tiny and new. They're very cute. So, and then under here as well. So it's doing really good. I swapped these two's pot, and I think they're going to each be happier in their own individual pots. And I like that my two black pots have like trees in them. So that's really cool. These are my magenta here, and then I think this is like a lemon or a lime. How come every time I try to tell you about these plants I space on them? Dracaenas. Okay, so these are my Dracaenas, and if you've seen my last videos, you'll see how much these have grown. This was in the haul video with the iron cross and those ones that my girlfriend bought me. And this is another Dracaena that Chelsea got from her boss, and it's been doing really, really good. The Lucky Bamboo Dracaena. So it's been doing really great. I love them. I mean, this plant was like this small when I got it, and like all of this is new. So it's pretty fabulous. This is my rosemary plant, and I love it, love it, love it. It's the only herb that I've been able to keep alive, just barely. So we'll see. I have some seeds, and I'm probably going to do a planting video with you guys soon. But I chopped it back quite a bit when winter hit and then brought it inside. It looks kind of dry on the inside, but I just watered it. So I think it's going to be fine. Here is my aloe vera, and this is the original medicinal aloe vera, and there is all new growth in there. So I'm very, very satisfied with this plant. And here's a leaf that I cut off, and I'm hoping to get fruits. We'll see. Will you stop talking over me, Savvy? Stop talking over Mama. Okay, so these are all of my jades, my chryssulas. Here is my elephant plant, which is a jade tree. Here is the this one. Sorry, I don't know what it's called. All of these weren't doing so good in the big pot they were in together. So same as my fuzzy plants over there, I divided them up and put them in their own individual plant pots. And I'm really hoping to see some improvement in the plant's health. But they all do have roots, and sometimes I see new growth. So I think they just needed a change. This is my miracle plant right here, my bird of paradise. This is the orange version of the bird of paradise. And when I brought it inside, it was not growing whatsoever. So how I did this is I treated the pot for bugs, okay? And then I scrubbed down, washed all the leaves, as well as cut a lot of leaves off that were really bad. And then I also cleaned inside here, okay? And let it dry. And I took a rag and went in between all of these and cleaned it out. And like not even a couple days after that, I saw these little new growths just poking out, like barely. And now look, just a couple weeks later, a whole new leaf is coming out. So I'm very happy to see this. I know that it doesn't look that great, but at least it's alive and at least it's growing. So that is my miracle plant. Being outside in Washington really almost destroyed it. So it has to be indoors here with me. My birds just, when they hear me talking, they get so happy. These are my newest additions, African Violets, and this one was on the sale rack, so it doesn't look so beautiful, but it has a really nice dual pink and lavender looking color. But my favorite one, obviously, is this right here. And I don't know if you can see all that shine to it, but it has such a sparkly shine to it.
Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you at the next video. Have an amazing day. Bye.
Come on.